Alright, I forgot to record that first part. So the base angles of an isosceles trapezoid are congruent. So if the two bases, so the two sides here, or I'm sorry, the two legs are congruent, then your base angles, so the bottom two angles are equal to each other, as well as the top two. And with this, we also know that if a trapezoid has one congruent pair of base angles, then it's isosceles. All right, and the other thing we know is that the diagonals of an isosceles trapezoid are congruent. So remember, the diagonals go from one side to the other. Right, so those two blue lines are going to be congruent to each other. She say she thinks it's weird? All right, somebody kick a table.
Let me do it.
That didn't fix it.
Keep that other leg. You go, girl. I did it.
All right, so mid-segment of a trapezoid is parallel to the bases, and its length is the average of the lengths of the bases. So that's a lot of stuff, but let's kind of draw out what it would look like. So I'm drawing a trapezoid. Not necessarily an isosceles trapezoid, any kind of trapezoid. So the mid-segment would be this middle line here. Let me make it blue. I used M and N. So like MN here is the mid-segment. So we can find that. So if we know the lengths of the two sides, like of the top and the bottom of the bases. So somebody give me a number.
12.
Okay, somebody give me a number bigger than 12.
84.
Whoa, that's...
Hey, that's 40. The same number.
50.
40 sounds good. Right, so to find the length of the mid-segment, we add the two numbers up and divide by 2. That's finding the average. So you do 40 plus 12 divided by 2. So that is 52 over 2, which is 26.
It's pretty easy.
Yep, so that part's not too bad. All right, so we do have to. So exactly one pair of opposite angles in a kite are congruent. Right, so typically it's going to be these two. Right, would be congruent. All right, we also know that the diagonals of a kite are perpendicular. So again, our diagonals here and here, these are going to form a right angle. Right, and then that is going to split the shorter line into two equal parts. So the line that's going through the congruent angles is always going to be split into two congruent parts by the other diagonal. There's not really a good way to write that one down.
Is there any special two angles that have 180?
Not really. The nice thing about this though is that you do have like, you've got this split up into right triangles. And then remember, oh yes. So then it also is going to bisect the two non-congruent angles. So like this angle up here is going to be congruent to that one. And then, I don't have enough colors. Purple. Then this one down here will be congruent to this one. So basically you can use the fact that you've got a right triangle and like find a missing angle, and then that like, so basically you need to use the fact that you have triangles in here that will help you find your missing parts. Right, and guys, remember I gave you this sheet the other day that like I've kind of summarized like all the things you need to know about like parallelograms, rectangles, like a rhombus, trapezoid. Like I gave you all of this info so you can use that to help you figure stuff out. Kite, right? It has all of that on there. Okay, so that is definitely going to be helpful while you are working through some of these things. All right, I'm pretty sure, yep, that is it. Let me double check what your assignment is supposed to be today. All right, we're going to do page 280, 1 through 12, all.
All of it?
All.
I went all?
All.
That's a lot.
It's 12.
Oh, a lot.
You know how
It seems like a lot more.
all of it is baked up for a lot.
I can make it more.
I agree with that.
I can make it more.
We know
No,
that
good.
every element.
I think it's just big
think
enough.
those stickers.
LMS was like,
1 through 17.
okay, but those were a lot easier, Emily.
So easy.
Well, some people aren't smart like you.
Yeah, you decided not to answer anybody that asked you for help.
See, you guys aren't supposed to be, you're supposed to be asking me. You know what?